Now is Mark Morgan, who served as Border Patrol chief under President Obama. He testified this morning before Congress about the influx of migrants. What was that like, sir? Thank you for joining us. I mean, what information did you give them? What did they ask you? And do you feel like they were listening?
So on the good front, Melissa, they were listening. And I got to tell you, there was no rhetoric that we've been hearing about that this is manufactured or it's not a crisis. I think for the most part, we've kind of tackled that hurdle. So it was a really a kind of debate that it should be. So it was good.
Why do you think that we're seeing this huge influx right now? You know, when we see crossings up, you know, in some places, 1,700%, across the board, more than 300%. Is it that some say it's the president's rhetoric and that migrants know that and they believe things are about to shut down, so they're making a final rush? Others say that it's a calculated effort, that the system is overloaded, so once they make it across, they're released because there's nowhere to keep them any longer because the system is just at capacity. What's your opinion?
So it's complicated. I think you can make a legitimate argument that there's a little bit of all of that mixed into the equation, but make no doubt, Melissa, the reason why they're coming is for economic equality, family reunification, and because of our broken system, they know that they step 1 foot on American soil, they're going to be allowed in indefinitely. That's the incentive. That's why they're paying a lot of money, risking their lives, because they know once they get here, they're going to be let in. That's why you're seeing the increase.
Can I ask you, as somebody who's been on the front lines, you know, when we hear Secretary Nielsen saying things like, this is a Cat 5, you know, the system is on fire, we're at the breaking point, what does that mean? I mean, what happens if things go over a tipping point from here? What does that look like? Are fences where they are coming down? I mean, what is it we're really talking about here?
So we're really talking about that our system, what we have, even though the greatest nation in the world, we're overtapped. I'll use a statement that former Secretary Jay Johnson said. He goes, if we had over 1,000 illegal immigrants coming in a day, that was a bad day, right? And I shared several of those bad days because I was the chief. Now we're looking at 4,000 in a day. It's catastrophic. Our system just can't handle it. So what that means is that, so we went from ICE releasing people in the United States. Now we have Border Patrol that are releasing these illegal immigrants in the United States. And if this keeps going like that, we're just going to have to open the gates and let them come in.
Yeah, so we had acting ICE Director Ron Vitiello shot down Democrats' claims, as you said, that this was a manufactured crisis. Let me show you what he had to say.
It's an absolute crisis down there. It has humanitarian aspects. It has border security aspects. This policy can't continue. He talked about the overcrowding. The system's in a meltdown. It's just getting worse day by day.
So you said when you were talking to people this morning that they did accept that it's a crisis. What is the next logical step from there for them? I mean, did they say, so then what do we do about it, or there's nothing we can do about it? I mean, where did it go from there?
You know, so that's kind of where it went downhill, Melissa, and you're spot on. So I heard some of the same talking points, some of the same resistance to what we need. They're talking about these big long-term things, continue to work with Mexico on long-term strategies in the Northern Triangle countries on long-term strategies. We've put hundreds of millions of dollars to Northern Triangle, and what has happened? The numbers have skyrocketed. Mexico, what's happened in Mexico? They went from inept bystanders to facilitators. That's not working. How we fix this immediately so we stop 150,000 from coming in next month is Congress has to fix the asylum laws, and we have to stop these people from coming in. They need to stay in Mexico. The president is absolutely right on the pressure he's putting on Mexico.
And just as somebody who's been there on the front lines, you know, the dialogue goes back and forth when we see the pictures of people laying on the ground trying to come over the border, waiting on the other side. Are the people that you encountered, I mean, is this a situation where you have this very dire scene that we've seen painted in the New York Times and elsewhere, where you have smugglers bringing sex slaves over the border and, you know, people paying for children to be caravanned, and here, you know, they're recycled around and around? Or are these people that are coming here, you know, looking for work, looking for economic opportunity, you know, who deserve all kinds of compassion, and the administration is being heartless by turning them away? What's the truth?
The truth is what you said before. The truth is that we don't know who's coming in because we can't verify who these people are. So, yeah, There's absolutely good people coming in, Melissa, but there's a whole bunch of bad people coming in too. The cartels, the smugglers, the traffickers, as 40% of the Border Patrol resources are being diverted for the humanitarian mission, the border now is even more wide open than it's ever been, and the cartels are exploiting that. The cartels are actually now directing these caravans of 100 or more to really remote areas along the border. And why? So the Border Patrol is totally diverted to that. Meanwhile, they sneak around and get bad people and bad things in. It's absolutely a crisis, both humanitarian and threat to our border.
Sounds like just chaos. Mark Morgan.
It is.
Thanks for coming on.